I was chosen to do a documentary research in the urban community in the Tabard area about the COVID-19 vaccination, whether people had taken it or they didn't, and why. So since you've taken a jab, has it helped? Was it worth taking it?
Nah, I don't think there was any point in me taking it. Although there was an immense amount of pressure, teachers, government, parents, all telling me to take the jab, saying that it's going to help me in the future, it's going to benefit me. But to be honest, I still feel the same, and yeah, that was the only reason I took the jab to begin with.
Yeah, I took the COVID jab because it was more of like, not really my say, it was like my parents' say, like health benefits, health-wise. Like it was better for me in the long run.
I did not take the COVID jab because I'm a young, healthy individual with good genes and a good immune system, and I felt like I was fine and I didn't need to. Also, after conducting my own research, I didn't see any reason for me to actually go forward and take this jab.
I took the vaccine because I needed to travel at the time. I was a bit hesitant to take it. I wasn't really willing to take it, but having like older, vulnerable family that lives around me and my mum working as a frontline person, I was kind of in a position where I had to take it just because, yeah, I was pushed to take it.
I took the vaccine because a lot of people are dying, and they said it's good to be taken to reduce the spread of disease. That's why I quickly to go and take it. And as far as I see a lot of population die, that's why I make up my mind to take it.
I did take the vaccine. I considered myself as a high-risk category for COVID, and therefore thought that the safest option would be to take the vaccine.
I took the vaccine 4 times. Why I took the vaccine? Because I have to believe in the scientists and what they say that is what we needed to do, and I have to put my faith in them as well. And I needed to do it to travel to different countries for work. So I'm so glad that I've not had no side effects. I know some people had some side effects on it as well. So I'm just glad I had no side effects.
I did not take the vaccine for many reasons, mainly because I was not sure about everything that was going on, and there was a lot of propaganda, secrecy, I believe, and lies about the vaccine and what it could potentially do to people.
I believe that a lot of black people in urban communities are afraid of taking the jab due to past history and a lot of what's happening now.
I believe that a lot of black people in the urban community are afraid to take the jab due to obviously past experience.
I do feel like many black people are scared to take the jab because of the role that ethnic minorities played during the COVID pandemic, having been at the front lines. However, I also feel like many black people feel like there's no other option.
I do think black people in urban communities was frightened to take the vaccine. There wasn't enough information about them, and plus there was other information. You wasn't sure about the information, if it was correct or if it wasn't correct. That's why I know a lot of black people that didn't take the vaccine.
I got a lot of friends refuse to take it. Up till now, they haven't catch COVID-19, and all my friends refuse to take it. Till now, they haven't got any COVID, and they are fine and standard and fit physically. Till now, that means the vaccine is nothing. It's doing nothing.
Because of the fear of like what's happened in the past about jabs, they don't know what's in it, but they've been assured by the scientists and the doctors that it's for our good, it's for our good to have it.
Since I've taken the vaccine, I'm feeling a little bit better because I feel like I'm more protected, but I still have many friends who've had multiple jabs and gotten COVID multiple times, so I still feel like the threat is there. I didn't feel like there was enough research done on the COVID jab before giving it to individuals, and I also felt like majority of the people who were taking the jabs initially were people of ethnic minorities, which made me more concerned.
The first one I took, it did me nothing, but the second one, the 3 days I'm not feeling all right. But the top up, the last one, I've sick for 3 or 4 days, I have to rush back to work, to home. But I came back to work after 1 week because I'm sick. It gave me a fever. That's why I know that the vaccine is not good enough.
From what I've seen, there has been a fair amount of research done.
Very little to no research was done on the COVID vaccine jab. Hence why a lot of people were very scared and just very. I don't know the words, but they're just very timid to take the jab.
According to what they said they do a lot of research. That's what they said. That's what we see on the video. That's what you see on the YouTube. But no one know. Maybe it's true or false. But as for me, the person who did it, the one that took Pfizer, the guy and the doctor in America, he refused and the family refused to take it. That means it's very, very dangerous for a woman to take.
Nah, I don't think it was worth taking the jab. It didn't help me in any type of way. I still feel the same. I don't really feel like there's any need for anyone to take the jab.
Well, when I first took it, my arm was it was hurting the first couple of days. Well, not couple of days, it hurt like the first day. And then it went away after the first day, to be honest. Yeah, I'll take it again. Because I've got to need it. Like, you've got to take it personal. Like, you've got to think about yourself, think about your health. I'm not really sure what was like in the jab itself, but I knew it was a bit of like COVID itself or the flu. It got like mixed so that you would like be, what's the word? Immune to like whatever they gave you. So you'd be immune to like COVID because you've already had it. So
I do believe that many people were pressured into taking the jab. I have some friends who've been forced by their family members or from their workplaces to take the jab. And most importantly, we don't exactly know what's in the jab. I've asked some of these people, what is in the jab, why are we taking it? They can't give me an exact reason, and that's very dangerous for us. I believe that many people have died through complications of taking the vaccine, which has not been diagnosed.
If I was to take if I had the opportunity to take the COVID vaccine again, I don't think I would take it, just because I don't think there's necessarily a need. I've had 2 jabs and I've been okay. I think I could have been okay without it, just because I went a long time before I did eventually take it. So yeah, I don't think I would take it again, no. So in terms of people that have taken the jab and had fatalities from that, I'm not too sure, just because I personally haven't done too much research into that matter, or I don't know a lot on that subject. I have heard that that has happened, but I do know that that isn't, it's not a more common result from taking the jab. So I mean, it's definitely something that I had in the back of my mind when I was going to get my jab, but my concern was more so the long-term effects of the jab, because that hasn't really been studied, and it can't really be studied because we are basically the test subjects for that. No, so I don't know anyone personally that has taken the jab and had adverse side effects of taking it. Yeah, no, it's like I said, I do think it is fairly uncommon for that to happen, but yeah, I don't know anyone, no. If we're talking about if the COVID vaccine works, I don't know. I don't think I would say yeah, and I don't think I would say no, just because I personally don't think I've seen any difference.
Some people are saying it's safe, some people are saying it's not. It's mixed opinions based on people's experience from what they've seen. And let's interview some more people and hear what they have to say.
I wasn't pressured to take the vaccine. I saw a lot of people are taking it. That's why I take my determination to take the vaccine. No, I'm not going to take it anymore, because the 3 time I take it is enough. I'm not going to take it anymore, because I see a lot of words on the video. Some people say it's not working. Some people say the vaccine is for the animal. That's why I'm scared to take it. I can't take it anymore, because a lot of black people refuse, I saw it physically on video that the vaccine is to reduce the black people population. That's why a lot of black people are fearing to take it. I don't know. I just believe that the vaccine is for the COVID. I don't know exactly what is inside. Because the person who did it, he haven't taken it now. He refused to take it. He refused to take it. The guy in America who did the Pfizer, the one I took, but in the video, till now he refused and his family refused to take it. And he did it for everybody for outside to take it.
I believe it has done something for me because it came right into my system, but I just believe I felt all right. I was running around the next day. I had a bit of a sore arm on the first one, and the second one just didn't really feel nothing at all. But it went all right, I'm so glad. Yes, I believe there was a bit of peer pressure for people who didn't want to take it, but I understand that they had to do it because they needed to do it, but I think there was a bit of peer pressure for people, a lot of people. The government and the doctors, phone calls they were getting, text messages they were getting to get your jab. So, yeah, there was a bit.
Do you know what is inside the jab, why people didn't want to take it?
That's a good question. I don't know what was in the jab. As I said, I had to believe in the scientists that what they was putting in was good for our immune system. Yeah, people had a bad reaction on the jab. I just don't know. It could be the immune system. It could be something. It's like what 1 in 1,000 it affected people wrongly, and I just don't know why it did, but it did affect people badly, and they just affected their body badly. I believe the vaccine has been successful because the 6 it told that the age groups they was targeting, and they know all the numbers they've got. It was very good. It was a very good outcome for them.
I wasn't pressured into taking the jab. I actually have family members working at the NHS who strongly encouraged me to, but I felt like for my own personal health and safety, it was the best option. I didn't feel like I had enough information about what was inside the jab to know why others were skeptical and whether or not it was safe for me to take. If I had to do it again, I would take the COVID vaccine again because at the end I never caught COVID, and I feel like this may have played a role in that. How I feel about adverse effects on people through taking the jab, to be honest, I'm not very comfortable with the adverse effects. I feel like there could have been more testing done. However, at the same time, there are many medicines out there that are used on a daily basis that have worse adverse effects. So I feel like the risk is higher actually with everyday medicine than with the COVID jabs. I feel like the COVID vaccine was successful in general, both from a health perspective as well as getting people back outside and feeling safe overall. I feel people in black communities were scared to take the jab because they were on the front lines. They're often the first ones to be to have to experience new experimental treatments. They're the ones that were working in the NHS, and also they're the ones, in some cases, of disadvantaged backgrounds supporting their families. I feel like they had more to lose.
I'm somebody who is diabetic, type 1 diabetic, and I'm someone that takes medication every day. I used to get a flu jab once a year, but since this whole sort of COVID-19 sort of, I don't know if we will call it a scandal, or since this whole thing came around, I don't even trust getting a flu jab anymore. I have 2 parents that are also vulnerable as they have like different health complications, and my mother is also someone who works in healthcare profession. So my parents were 2 people who decided to get the vaccine. However, I did not feel like it was something I would go for myself. I was also a key worker during the whole 2 years of the sort of scandal. I'm someone that worked in a supermarket, and I worked hand to hand every day with customers. Someone that worked full time, 5 days a week. Someone that often done overtime, working hand to hand with people, with the community and people that I did not know. I didn't wash my hands every day or for 30 seconds like they recommended. I'm not someone that followed all the guidelines essentially the way that we were supposed to, as it was quite hard being a key worker. but I didn't seem to be affected by the COVID-19. However, this is where the confusion comes, because I know many people that did shelter, and I have friends and family that have been affected in negative ways, and death has arisen in people's families from this COVID-19 scandal, I'll call it.
Do you think black people are scared to take it, and why?
Yeah, I believe black people are scared to take the vaccine, mainly because we don't know who the vaccines have actually been tested on. We don't know if they have been tested on other black people such as ourselves, and a lot of black people, I believe, are afraid to be the first guinea pigs. I believe that the most effective way that we could have tackled the COVID-19 in general was that when we knew what was going on and that this was something that was spreading, I believe that all the countries in the world should have closed their borders.
There is a lot of information out there about the COVID-19 vaccination, but many people are confused. Who's right? Who's wrong?
Not in my eyes. I don't think it's safe to take anything that's not been done enough research on, or anything they ain't put in the work to show us, yeah, the outcome is good, or the outcome is beneficial. I don't think it's that way. Definitely not right to lose your job if you're not taking the vaccine. That's just a scare tactic. I think that's a scare tactic to get people to follow the agenda. Of course, if they tell them they're gonna do something, they're playing chess, innit? If you lose, you lose. It's a gambling game. So, no, I don't think that's fair at all. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. So if you think the vaccine is for you and that's your thing, go ahead. That's your thing. But that's not for me. I know I've got family members that said it was okay, that thought it was all right, and a couple years later, it's been a couple years now, and they're not so sure they took the right choice. But like I said, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I'm just having mine. My opinion is that it's not for me.
Do you feel like there was a lot of research done into taking the vaccine before they gave it to people?
As far as I'm aware, there wasn't a lot of research done. There wasn't a lot of research because there wasn't time. We just found out about this the other day. There wasn't enough time to do the research. So as far as I'm aware, no.
Do you feel like black people in urban communities are afraid to take the vaccine, and why?
Of course, definitely. People from urban backgrounds and deprived areas, they're definitely hesitant on taking anything to do with something that's forced upon you, something that you have no choice in, or it's questionable. Definitely.
The reason why I took this vaccine, I took 3 vaccines. The reason I did that was because I'm going through breast cancer and I needed to go to the Caribbean. So I took it so that I would pay less money in quarantine, and so that I could get to the Caribbean and do the good things that the Caribbean has for me.
Do you feel like the vaccine is safe to take?
At the time I thought it was, but I don't think it is now. I think people was pressured into taking it. Now there's not so much pressure. You still get a letter, you still get a text from the doctors, but it's not as much pressure as it was before. I didn't know what was in the COVID vaccine. I didn't do my research. There wasn't a lot of information regarding what was in it. Well, I do think there's been a lot of effects. My cousin actually died from taking the COVID vaccine in Dominica. He had kidney problems and he died. I don't think they did enough research on the vaccines before they gave it to the public. No. I definitely think people took the vaccine because they were scared and pressured. And I don't think there was enough information, as I said before, but I definitely think people was pressured and scared. That's why they took it.
You can hear what people are saying, but I'd rather leave it up to the individual to make their own hypothesis. Nobody's right, nobody's wrong. We're all entitled to our own opinions.
So, did you take the COVID vaccine?
No, I didn't take the vaccine.
Why didn't you take the COVID vaccine?
I didn't get the vaccine because I wasn't offered to take it.
If you was offered to take the vaccine, would you take it?
Yeah, I would have taken the vaccine if I was offered.
Do you feel like there was a lot of research into the COVID vaccine before giving it to people?
I feel like, yeah, there should have been a lot of research done into it before they gave it out to the public. Because if they didn't well think it through, then it might have had side effects that could affect everyone that took it.
If you was offered the COVID vaccine, would you take it and why?
If I was offered the COVID vaccine, I probably would take it because my parents did want me to take it because they thought that it would help me like against COVID-19. My parents convinced me into taking it, and they might not have known the side effects of it. So,
me personally, I wouldn't advise people to take the vaccine as there's many risks to it and not a lot of rewards from taking it.
It stopped people from getting into work. Also traveling. Traveling is a big part of, some people's lives, and they just said, you can't travel if you don't get the jab. Also the influencers, the celebrities that would also promote it, which I felt was a bit random because they don't promote anything else, concerning the vaccine.
I feel like most people are forced into taking it because it would be publicized everywhere. Like, you would see it, so you would feel like peer pressured into taking it anyway. So yeah, the government was kind of forcing people into taking it. I don't think my parents were fully educated about the COVID vaccines, as BBC was saying that it was perfect, society was saying that it was perfect.
No, I don't think my parents were properly informed of the harmful effects of COVID-19. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given it to me in the first place, and they would have kept me safe.
I don't feel like it's safe, mainly because they didn't have enough research. They just kind of chucked some things together and said, hey, here's the COVID vaccine, be safe with it.
Of the side effects that came with it, like, I don't think most of them developed like how I developed not taking it, because I see some of my friends that take it, and as a 16-year-old boy, I'm allowed to like sprint. I can sprint for like long periods of time, and then they can't. I feel like those are some of the side effects of the vaccines. My parents already signed the waivers, and I had no power or control over it.
It became a necessity to continue work. Mainly, like even the NHS staff, the nurses. You're working to help these people become better again, but then you're told you have to take this vaccine, otherwise you can't work. If no one took any vaccines in the hospitals, then who would help the people that were sick with COVID or whatever it was?
No, I don't think a lot of research was put into the vaccine due to the fact that there were many people that still died to it, and it was made over a period of time, like a month or so. That was very fast, and normally a vaccine takes longer than that to be made.
I think overall that black people are scared to take the COVID vaccine because they don't know the different stuff that are put in the vaccine, and they don't know the outcomes and also the side effects that may occur.
I wasn't told about most of the stuff in the vaccine. I was only told the very small things, only the pros, not the cons, about what was in it.
They announced it to us that there was minimal research. We all know, as people, that it takes a few years at least for these things to come about, and they kind of gave it to us after a short period of time and expected us to just take this mysterious vaccine.
If the time were reversed, I don't think I would have taken the vaccine due to the many things that were inside the vaccine I wasn't told about.
It's the maybe like the 20 to 30-year-olds, like maybe a bit younger as well, a teenage to 30-year-olds. I feel like we think that we're fine and we're healthy enough to upstand anything really. But since it's like the flu, we've had the flu before. We know that can be deadly also.
It was enforced in schools to take it. Everywhere you go, you'll see like vaccination stations. So then I feel like it was more of a pressured thing into it.
Some of us just don't want to, simple as. But again, with the pressure, that can create fear.
It took probably about 1 year to make a vaccine when other vaccines do not take that long to work.
I have no idea what the contents of the vaccine has in it. And the fact that they have like boosters and stuff like that, I don't know what they've put in that neither.
I feel like you have to do your own research on it, like see what's actually inside of the vaccine, because on the news you only saw the pros, not the cons.
I think the government were incorrect with a lot of their information. Mainly, you know, like even in hospitals, they said that every death was COVID. Flu disappeared, other illnesses, cancer, everything disappeared, and it was just COVID. Every death reported as that. So the numbers were extremely high. That as well put pressure on people.
I feel very disheartened because me personally, when I took it, I didn't see no side effects, and it wasn't shown to the media or anything. But now I've seen online that these side effects occur and that they've been very harmful towards other people that have taken it.
They told us we couldn't travel. There were people traveling, even when they had the restrictions. There were still people traveling with a little letter to say, you know, of their health concerns or, you know, whatever it may be. But they were still allowed to travel unvaccinated with vaccinated people. So the rules just didn't make sense at all. Goalposts were always being moved further and further away. You have to take this in order to do this, you know. So yeah, that's the same thing with the work, same thing with the holidays, going into public places, you know. It was just all ridiculous.
But I did have to take it because my parents already signed the form, and it's not like I had a say in what I wanted to do.
Don't you think it's a bit crazy, like you're volunteering yourself to be one of the first people to take this like new drug we don't know?
I feel like the COVID deaths were extremely highlighted. You know, we got, you know, weekly figures on the news and stuff to help the fear, to help us try and take this experimental vaccine. It was, I've never seen anything like this. You know, when you go through the flu and have all of this stuff, you don't see that announcement on the news. When you go through other sicknesses and illnesses, you don't see any of these figures popping up weekly.
The pandemic spread very quickly and a lot of people died, which led them to come up with a vaccine very, very quickly and not put a lot of thought into it.
So logically, they were telling us, you know, this vaccine works for this or helps prevent this COVID. So yeah, logically it made sense what they were saying. However, when people were still catching COVID, when people were still becoming ill, there were no real answers. They needed a booster, you know, next level vaccine. And how many times can you go up before? It was just very questionable. It just, one thing after the other.
But they didn't explain thoroughly for me to properly understand the concept of the vaccine and what's actually going into my system.